Okay, let's go back to see the Royal Caribbean corporations. Uh, I would say Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, the, the cruise line carry the group name, is one of the most creative cruise line in the world, from my point of view. Starting from last century, they leading the industry to build the largest and the most creative cruise ship in the world. You can see the name of a Royal Caribbean. It's the ship. The cruise line is focus on the itinerary around the Caribbean seas. In the earlier class, we're talking about the no sail order has been lifted in certain cruising itinerary area like Alaska. So at this time, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line do not focus on too much efforts on the Alaska market. So that's why we cannot see their appearance around the Alaska startup season in July 2021. Uh, but in a few minutes, we will talk the spread out the Royal Caribbean, the cruise lineup. You can see what's the differences between the Royal Caribbeans. For the next cruise line is called the Celebrity Cruise Line. Celebrity Cruise Line is positioning herself in the premium market. They got better decorations and better food than the Royal Caribbeans. But that's a reason. In the 1997, there's a financial crisis around the world. Royal Caribbean Group purchased. I was invested the Celebrity Cruise, put the name Celebrity Cruise under the umbrella of no Royal Caribbean Group. From my point of view, that is one of the cruise line I most appreciated. They have a great food offering, and they got the uh, very good venue. Uh, you can see everything is dedicated. Pretty good cruise lines. So in the market, they are premium. So to go to the next one, it's called the TUI cruises. From the Royal Caribbean Group strategy, they always find the best partner around the certain market to set up a new joint venture cruise lines, like the TUI cruise lines in Germany and the Pullmantur cruise line in Spain. But TUI is the largest travel related uh, group in the German. They owned the cruise lines. They have their own transportation equipment. They have their travel agency. So they are largest travel agency in Germany. So Royal Caribbean invited joint venture with the TUI, so set up the TUI cruise lines. They are mainly their major competitor is the AIDA Cruises from the Carnival Cruise Line. They have same positioning, same locations, so they are big competitor around the German market. Okay, the Pullmantur cruise line is already disappeared in the world. That's a joint venture from the Caribbean Cruise Lines with the local merchant of the Spain. During the COVID-19 pandemic area, even before the pandemic, the Pullman got some serious financial problems. So after the during the pandemic, They send the Pullman to cruises the ship to the scrapyard. So this brand is already deceased, and they also they went to the court to get some reorganization or some kind of bank order, the court orders to do some jobs, but I believe they just diminished. Let's talk about the Silver Seas. Silver Sea is the latest acquired by the Royal Caribbean groups. But when you look at the brand of the Royal Caribbean group, the Silver Sea will fill up the top of the line in the cruise market. Silver Sea, very compared to the seaborne cruise line or from the Carnival Group, they focus on the very top of the market. They are, I would say, they are the example of the luxury cruise lines. The ship is not very big. They offer extremely good food. I will say extremely good. They got the very different kind of food supplies. For example, from the beef point of view, they offer around prime grade uh, beef to serve their customer. Compared to the Celebrity or the Royal Caribbean, they got the choice level. I wish you are familiar with the U.S. Beef grade systems. From the top to the down, the very top of the beef class is called a prime. So sometimes you heard of the prime rib, and the second one is a choice, and then the third one is called a select. So for the Celebrity or Royal Caribbean, they offer choice grade beef to the customer. If you really need the prime level or prime grade beefs, you have paid some extra fees to get the go to the specific restaurant to get the better meat, better beef. So from the Silver Seas, they offer the top grade of the beefs. That's one of the example. You can see the Silver Seas and his competitor, the same size ship, the same market share, and the same competitors. They offer some better the service. They offer the butler services. A butler service is a person who is dedicated to your service to certain customers, and they send the housekeeping clerk to clean your room. So if you need something really different, you can call the butler to have your things arranged. So the dedicated butler service, if you got a really higher class, you got a one butler, suite, uh, one butler, one suite services. But for most of the lower cabin, like the balcony something, you get the floor butler services. But they are really very helpful. They got several like a group. You need something, you speak to them, they will give you some miracles. The thing I impressed the most was on the day before we disembarked the ship. I went for lunch and then back to the cabin. I figured out, I noticed all my luggage has been, I will say, polished. Everything is shiny. And leave my luggage case on the rack. Help me to prepare to collect all my belongings back to home. Oh, that's I have sailed it through all the I will say the popular cruise line dozen times, almost 40 times. but no one did that things to. So the bottle service will really touch your emotion, will give you a great applause. But actually, you pay a lot for the cruise lines. But if you can affordable that kind of uh, money, you had better go to the luxury cruise lines. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's called Azamara Club Cruises. This one went out the corporations around mid of the around the earth of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Zamara Club, the position of this one is just between the Silver Sea, the top of the line, and the Premium Cruise Line, the Celebrity Cruise Line. Just 3 years ago, it stayed on the corporation. When the Royal Caribbean Group acquired the Silver Sea, the positioning is awkward. So they just leave the Azamara Club out of the company. One of the investment company purchased the Azamara clubs. Will talk to this kind of a special positioning cruise lines in the future. Mhm. Okay, let's go to see the details of the Royal Caribbean. You can see from the number of the vessels, but it's a data from 2018. You can see from the bottom to the top, the Royal Caribbean owns the majority ships. You can get way away from the celebrity and the tourists. But the times goes by. From the 2021, we got the new statistics in the later. Uh, but see the capacities. You can see the Caribbean Cruise Line is still far away from the other same brand. So they are the major player of the corporations. So the Royal Caribbean, so for the celebrity, for the rest of them, is far away from the Royal Caribbean. So the Royal Caribbean Cruises, the single brand, will play the most important position of the whole group. Okay, let's see the fleet. I will see the column one. The very first one is the name of the class of the ship. They got the Oasis class, Quantum class, Freedom class, and the Radiance class, Voyage class, and the Vision class. They're from new, not only new. It's from the year of the put in service, I would say that will be a big difference. And the second one is the year of the in service. The third one is the tonnage. The fourth one is the capacity. The fifth one is the crew number, and the last one is the number of ship. Okay, we see it from the bottom to the top. Vision of the Sea. It was introduced in 1995. At that time, Vision class is the largest ship, Vision of the Sea. But you can see the class is always on. It is the very first ship of this class of the fleet. Okay, I will say the fleet. So Vision is the very first one for the 73,000 ton ship. It's around almost 2,000 people, 720 crews. They got 6 ships. But when during the pandemic period, they sent some of the Vision class ship to the scrapyard in Turkey. They say this kind of a ship is very it's a very inefficient. They got the very the diesel engine. The everything is not very cost effective. So they send them to the scrapyard or find a new buyers. Okay, go to the button 2, Voyage of the Sea. It was introduced in 1999. It is the first one ship over 100,000 tons. At that time, Voyage of the Sea is the biggest on the world. Probably, I have to cross check. Probably, yes, he's the biggest at the time. Voyage of the Sea has been in Taiwan. Probably in 2013 or 2014, I can remember. It created a new record for herself. It has been got the highest number of the capacity, almost a full cruise. They filled up the third and the fourth berth of the ship. So they set up the record for the Taiwan Taiwan home port departures. So the Voyage of the Sea, they got 5 ships around, but it's still working around the world. Okay, for the other 2001, just past the millennium, one of the ship class is called the Radiance. It's around 90,000 tons, carry 2,500 people. It was made to go through the Panama Canal. At that time, Panama Canal can sail the ship. The width is limited to 110. Almost that's my number. I have to figure out later. I'll give you the right number. So they got that's not big ship can pass through the Panama Canal. So most of the cruise lines are building the ship around 90,000 tons to get to and from the Panama Canal. Otherwise, they have to go through South America to go through the Cape Horn, not Cape Horn, go to the Drake's Passage to and from the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. On the 2005, they got a Freedom class. That's a new class, and at that time, 2006, they also built. That was they created a record again. They carried 3,600 people and almost 160,000 tons. That's a big ship at that time. And before the ship was built, I believe the Cunard, the Queen Mary, to stand on the very first place on the size of the ship point position. When the Freedom of the Sea introduced in the market, he occupied the first place of the ship size. Freedom of the Sea from the 2006, it is the big brother, big sister, I would say, in the Caribbean market. Go to the Quantum of the Sea, that is very the latest class. But we have to look at the Oasis of the Sea first. Under 2009, when it came out to the market, everybody just said, "Wow, I have never seen the ship like this." If you can remember, we did show you a movie couple of weeks ago in the class showing about the Oasis of the Sea, some kind of a documentary film. But the Oasis of the Sea is a carrier of 5,400 people. It's really need a big market. It's sailing around the Caribbean Sea and sailing around the Mediterranean. And we was told that the latest one will be put in the Shanghai market in China probably when after the pandemic season stopped. Okay, so that's Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Okay, have a great day. Bye.